is Wednesday and 70.3 Texas is in 4 days. It's this Sunday. I've got my bike behind me. I haven't washed it since April, since Ironman Texas last year. I'm going to keep the chain because I don't have a link to put on my race chain, which is that green one I used for Texas actually. I'm going to be changing out the padding on the top. You see how worn it is from all my sweat. I just left it worn out because it didn't really make a difference. Might keep this top part as is for the race and then change it out for Ironman Jacksonville. Haven't decided yet. Had some issues with my cleats, but the pedals seem fine. I always put extra weight on the right pedal because that's where I get on. But you could see some wear here. I'll try to get in there with the wire brush. And there's just like debris and hair all inside here. So we'll give it a nice little bath and then pack the bike up for the race. So I've just put my rear wheel on since last April, and I have this issue I've never had before. So you see the wheel is freely spinning, and as soon as I tighten the rear whatever that's called, the wheel seizes up. Now I can't tell, it doesn't look like it's the brakes pushing against it, and previously I could even freely move the wheel backwards. Well, now I can do it forwards too. Very strange. It doesn't look like it's the brake. I don't know if I'm missing like a... I really don't know what the issue is here. I have to mess around. I don't know if I'm missing a plate or something in between this to extend, to make this wider. Maybe that's what it is. I'll have to double check. But definitely a problem that I might have to address with mechanics at the race. So let's see. Fantastic. Cleaned this chain as best I could. Look at this beauty. I can eat off of it. Well, that dirt is from before, but still, look at that. Beautiful. I'll lube it up. Still can't figure out the issue with why my wheel won't turn, but I'll figure it out later. And yeah. Race is Sunday, 70.3 Texas. I am in my sauna. I'm gonna do a 20-minute sauna, 3-minute ice bath, 20-minute sauna, 3-minute ice bath. I didn't work out today. I just spent the whole day packing and putting together my bike in my bike box. Had some issues last night with my rear wheel not turning. I think there must be something wrong with the cassette or hub being too tight on the rear wheel. Don't know, but I have a spare wheel and that worked, so we're gonna take that to the race. Gonna do this recovery session, and tomorrow traveling at 3 a.m. Flight is at 6 a.m. Airports are crazy right now, so I don't know how that's gonna go. Pretty excited for this race. I've learned to pack light now for these races because I've learned what I need to bring and not bring. It's crazy, like a few years ago, my first race, and like just packing everything with me. And now I'm just like bringing like a Ziploc bag of tools. So, God, I'm looking out, there's like bees trying to get in here. Oh my God, if a bee gets in here, I'm gonna shit.
practice, cross things out, and out lists everywhere I go. Over time, I started organizing the app into different journals. Right now, I have 5 journals, but 3 of them are the ones I use the most. I have separate places for different things in my life, so I know where things belong. The first one is called...
All right, we are back from 70.3 Texas. Came home with the medal. Thank God. We have not DNF'd a half Ironman yet. We'll put that boy on for this recap. So here's the 70.3 Texas recap. First of all, Texas is hotter than it is in Florida at the moment, and I truly believe, even though that it's more humid in Florida, I think that 70.3 Texas heat with no cloud coverage, just direct sunlight, it was rough. I got burned pretty bad on my right side. I even wore sunscreen the whole race, but it still didn't really help me out. So, starting with the swim. Well, actually, starting with the expo. The expo was very small. Nothing crazy or special about it. It was outdoors, just a few vendors. Got my bib and bag and all the stuff. My bib number was 373, so it turned out that I was pretty close to the bike exit and bike entrance and exit, so and in transition. So I liked that, and that was basically based on like the number I picked or got when I got to the expo, which was the first day, right when it opened. Ironman now does precision hydration, which I'm not a massive fan of. I wish they went back to Gatorade, but I think it's better than Mortal hydration, but it's still not as good as Gatorade. Nothing beats that stuff. So got my bottles set up, got my bike computer set up, checked my tubes, my tires, and I went with 110 PSI this time. In the past, I did 115, which is the max for the tire and tube that I have. But for some reason, the wheel set that I have, the max is like 90 PSI, but I still run 110. I just feel being a heavier weight, running a higher pressure on my tires is best, and 110 to 115 has just been perfect. So that's probably what I'll do for Ironman Jacksonville. So this was another learning, just recording data for what I'm going to do for the fulls. So swim start. So yeah, got everything set up, walked over to the swim start, which is a little less than a mile away. Easy walk. There's sidewalk and grass, and I set myself up with the 45 to 50 minute group, which kind of turned out to be okay. I could have probably gone with a slower group, but because my swim time was 50 minutes. Met this guy, Matt, that's also doing Ironman Jacksonville. I met him in the swim start, so it was really cool to talk to him. He's from Arizona. We chatted for about 5 to 10 minutes, all the way up until we got into the water. So I later found out that he finished as well and did really well. So I'm really, really happy for him and glad we both got to finish and meet each other. I found out that in the Ironman Jacksonville group, there's actually a lot of people that did 70.3 Texas, so that was cool. And I feel like the race itself was a really good practice run for Jacksonville just because of the heat. So I'm going to be spending more time in the sauna intentionally after runs and bikes and CrossFit so that I can adapt more to the heat even though I'm in Florida. I just feel like that's going to benefit me a lot. So the Texas mental win will pay off for sure. So swim start. The countdown is going like every 5 seconds for like 4 or 5 athletes to jump in the water. So I noticed that every countdown you have to jump like 3 or 4 feet into the water, feet first. You could sit on the pier and jump off that way, but I'm afraid to do that. I did that in Augusta, and I'm afraid to like rip my wetsuit, so I just figured I'd jump in. I was watching people jump in, and people's goggles were falling off, and people were jumping on top of each other. So I made sure when I jumped in, I waited for the person that jumped in before me to get ahead a little bit, and then I got onto the timing mat. So I pretty much waited like a ghost person in front of me, and then got onto my timing mat before I jumped in, just to make sure I'm not jumping on top of someone. So I held my goggles, jumped in, felt like 10 seconds before I could come back up for air, and then went ahead with my swim. So I didn't train swimming at all for this race. I did 3 swims in the last month, and they were also, and it's also 3 swims in the last year. So I haven't swam since last Ironman Texas. So it was rough. I started getting fatigue in my inner left groin, which I'm not sure why. It was really weird. I didn't get that tiredness during training. And I definitely felt my triceps really tired for the first 500, 600 yards, which pretty much lasted up until the first left turn buoy. So that was about where my pain stopped. But then I think just the people, like I got kicked in the face within the first 100 meters of the swim, and then on the straight shot from the second left turn buoy up until where you're going about probably like 1,000 meters straight. Just people crossing, and I'm getting hit left and right, getting climbed over. So I feel like I probably started with too fast of a group, which is a mistake on my end. So my camera overheated, so I had to come back outside and cool the camera off. So yeah, the swim. The 1,000-meter stretch, long stretch of the swim, I just couldn't really get oriented right, and about the 35-minute mark, I saw that I was at 1,000 meters. So was dancing around with DNF a little bit. Maybe it was like 1,200 meters. So I pushed a bit harder on the second part of the swim and finished in about 51 minutes. Coming out of the water, I should have swam more. I hit my transition time on my watch, so I got the new Phoenix 8 Pro so that people could track me on live track without my phone. And the live track started when I got into transition, so it never started during my swim, so that kind of sucked, because I wanted to test that out with everybody. But got out of the water, you step right into mud as soon as you get out, and they did have wetsuit strippers, so I wasn't going to use them, but I figured it is a bit easier, so I used them. I got on my back and they ripped the suit right off. So they always say never try anything new on race day, and I tried my first tri-suit in a race, and I wore it for all 3 parts of the race. And honestly, it was not bad, except for the bike, because of the padding is not enough on the bike. But I feel like that was just really good training for Jacksonville, because I'm going to be wearing bike shorts for Jacksonville that have much more padding. So yeah, got into transition, got my bike, and went on my way. As soon as I mounted the bike at the mount line, I also went to I did use the bathroom too, I had to take a piss. As soon as I mounted the bike and got both feet on the pedals, I lost my chain. My chain came right off the front rings and got stuck right in between the front gears and the bike itself, so it just got crushed in there. Thankfully, someone, I think he was a volunteer with the race, or might be working with the race. He was on a golf cart. He got off and just helped me hold the bike, and I got the chain off. It took me like about 5 minutes. Oil grease all over my hands, and got the chain back onto the front ring. And as soon as I turned it again, it slipped again. So I wasted about 10 minutes at the start of the race, literally like 20 feet away from the mount line, trying to get this chain back, and I still to this moment don't know what I did wrong. But got the chain back on, and this guy helped me, and then finally I was going, and the chain wouldn't slip off anymore. And my damn bike computer won't turn on. So I charged it the night before. I mounted it to the bike the morning of, just like any race, and turned it on and put it in sleep mode like any race I've ever done. But when I mounted the bike computer would not turn on. So I did the whole bike without any data except for what I had in my watch. When I got to the second aid station, I turned my watch to face me so I could see my speed and stuff, but I just forgot for the first station. But yeah, it was brutal. That part is brutal because I like to look at my bike computer to distract me or focus on my heart rate and speed. So pretty much the entire bike leg I was unaware, unless I physically looked at my watch. But it's kind of a pain because the sunlight is hitting it and I can't see it when I'm in aero or like holding the thing. So I'd have to actually lift my arm up to look, and you don't want to keep doing that. So couldn't see my speed or heart rate or elevation gain, not that there was much for the whole bike leg, so that was different. Tried out salt tabs for the first time at this race, not bad. Salt chews, so I think I'm gonna do that. I kind of just like put one in each gum and just let them sit there, and I sucked on them the whole time on the bike, so that was cool. Really hot and windy, but not crazy windy like Ironman Texas last year. Road surface was really nice, really flat. A couple hills, but that's just like to bridge overpasses, so not a big deal. I think my watch measured like 400 feet of elevation gain for the whole course, something like that. So it's really not that bad. I think my average speed was like 16 miles an hour, like average, and it felt like I had more momentum going out, like the wind was with me going out versus coming back in, but it all evened out pretty well. I would have liked to get under 3 hours, but with the issue that happened at 10 minutes, in the beginning, and not seeing my heart rate or speed or following my distance, I think I got like 3:30. Kept my tri-suit on, and then set up for the run. The run was 3 laps for about 4 miles each, and hot, like really hot. I reverse splitted my second lap by like 5 minutes, which was nice because I think I was getting scared about a DNF. And then the third lap I really slowed down, and my feet were hurting me, like on the sides where my hot spots that I usually get, and it was just really hot. Like I got burnt bad. So I wish I had at least probably dressed up for the run and worn long sleeve everything, but it is what it is. And then finished the race 10 minutes pre-DNF, thank God. I noticed in the last like 4 or 5 miles I had like really bad breathing issues, like I did in Ironman Arizona years ago. I forgot my inhaler at home, so I did go see medical, and they did give me an albuterol inhaler. So that was nice. Had to answer a bunch of questions with the doctors there, and just told them like there's no major concern. It's just like I have trouble breathing, and he did confirm I was wheezing a bit. So I still kind of have that today, but not as bad as race day, obviously. And yeah, finisher flag was given out to all the finishers versus a hat, which I'm happy about a flag because I like to hang them up in the room. So, and I don't really wear the finisher hats, so that's a bit different. And that's it. Flew out of Houston George Bush Airport, and thankfully TSA workers are getting paid again, so we did not experience any delays in departing for back to Florida, so that I'm really happy about that. That's my 70.3 Texas race recap. I hope everyone got the race that they expected. I didn't do as well as I expected, but I'm really glad that I finished and didn't DNF and got this medal home. The medal is cool, the band is alright. I hope I don't get chlorine all on the band, but whatever. Yeah, that's the medal. And stay tuned. We'll do the next episode. I'll show you my peak week training. Peace.